I feel like this was a really good first week. I feel confident, I feel motivated. I feel like I learned a lot more than I was expecting to. This week was difficult. In the past, if I would have had a personally difficult week, it would have set me back pretty far in my learning process. Because honestly, learning French is one of the first things to go if I'm lacking motivation. And because it's one of the first things to go, sometimes a bad week can set me back like a month. Not only do I stop learning new things for a bit, but I have to then go back and relearn some of the things that I was learning before I took a break, and it just turns into a whole mess. I definitely feel like learning a language completely by yourself means you have to be incredibly self-motivated. And I really respect the people who, even when life happens and motivation wavers, they're still able to keep going. But that's just not me, at least for learning a language. But now I know that it was just because I hadn't figured out a way to stay at least a little bit motivated so that I could keep going. I would just kind of give up because it's not my biggest priority in life. I'm just doing it for fun. But because of this challenge, I'm no longer just relying on myself to stay motivated. I'm also being held accountable by other people in the classes and lessons that I'm taking. So it's no longer fully on me. So even on days when I don't really want to show up for myself, I don't want to let down my teachers. And that's definitely the people pleaser in me, but I guess that was the piece of the puzzle that was missing this whole time to keep me going, even when life gets difficult and my motivation is gone. Like this past Tuesday, for example, I had a lesson, and when I woke up that morning, I really didn't want to do it. I stayed in bed until a minute before the class started, and I turned on my computer at the time that the class was starting. I was definitely not the most focused. I was not speaking incredible French, but I still showed up. I still learned. Yeah, it was an off day, but it's fine. But by the end of the class, I actually felt a little bit better because I kind of got out of my head. I had some of that human interaction. I had time to focus on something that wasn't just my anxiety, and that's exactly what I needed that day. I also think it's really awesome that there are so many resources online for language learning where you can be held accountable by other people. Here we go with the lighting again. I really do think it's impossible to stay motivated 100% of the time. So I'm thankful that through this challenge, I've learned what works for me to keep me going even when I lose that motivation and have a hard day or have a hard week. But I do want to stress that we don't have to constantly be productivity machines. I feel like it's been really popular on YouTube recently and the rest of the internet to, figure out how to be productive 100% of the time and figure out how to plan your entire day so that you can get like a bunch of things done and wake up at 5 a.m. And it's just like all of these things on how to be the most efficient human being possible. But that doesn't really sit right with me. But anyway, I'm definitely one of those people that puts a lot of pressure on themselves, and I found myself feeling guilty this week because I didn't learn that much and I didn't improve that much in my French, but that's not what this is about. It is what it's about, but it doesn't have to be what it's about. I don't know. But I think the important thing is that I still showed up. I still went to both of my lessons. I still learned at least something. If anything, I just kept it fresh in my head. And instead of giving up like I might have in the past, I kept moving forward, at least a little bit. But I already know that next week's video will be better. I will learn a lot more. I know that because I give myself half a week of buffer time so that I can edit, and I'm already partially through next week. So just to quickly finish up this video, some things that I do feel like I started to at least learn this week include saying birth dates. I learned how to answer a bunch of different questions, including what's your favorite pastime? What's your favorite color? We did more work on the weather, as well as more work on near future. I started learning a little bit about the simple future on my own, so it wasn't a complete waste. I did learn a little bit, but I'm very excited for you guys to see next week's video specifically. It's gonna be week 3. I'm halfway done. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, hit the bell, do all those beautiful things, and I will see you for next week's video. which is gonna be a really kick butt learning week, and I could not be more excited for it. So, see you soon.